Hello everyone, I'm Norbert Williams, right here on Sky FM 93.1. Join me Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, Minova Ward joining me from Canada, right near the North Pole. Although it's cold over there, it's gonna be hot in here. Don't you forget, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on GVD TV and streaming live on Facebook. Don't you miss it. Hello everyone, I'm Norbert Williams, right here on Sky FM 93.1. Join me Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, Minova Ward joining me from Canada, right near the North Pole. Although it's cold over there, it's gonna be hot in here. Don't you forget, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on GVD TV and streaming live on Facebook. Don't you miss it. Hello everyone, I'm Norbert Williams, right here on Sky FM 93.1. Join me Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, Minova Ward joining me from Canada, right near the North Pole. Although it's cold over there, it's gonna be hot in here. Don't you forget, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on GVD TV and streaming live on Facebook. Don't you miss it. Crossfire, discussing the issues. Norbert Williams, Champagne, Dr. Secret, and Ring the Bell. Thursdays, 8 p.m. on Sky FM and GVD TV. Don't you miss it. Hello everyone, I'm Norbert Williams, right here on Sky FM 93.1. Join me Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, Minova Ward joining me from Canada, right near the North Pole. Although it's cold over there, it's gonna be hot in here. Don't you forget, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on GVD TV and streaming live on Facebook. Don't you miss it. Hello everyone, I'm Norbert. Good morning to you, good morning everyone, and welcome again to another morning edition of Keeping It Real. Good morning to you. And it's another beautiful day in paradise. Today is Wednesday, the 28th day of April, 2021. And oh, it's going to be another lovely day again. Good morning to you all around St. Lucia in the north, in the south, the east, and the west, and wherever you may be. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? Are you having your coffee? Are you having your tea? Are you having your boisden, your trois tasses, your cocoa tea, your hot chocolate, whatever? Are you having local coffee? Are you fresh brewed, Maxwell House, Nescafe, Folgers, whatever you having? Hope you have some for me, although I don't drink coffee. You know. And here go the birds and the bees. Good morning to those of you already joining me and the crew. All of you out there in the United Kingdom and in the US of A and around St. Lucia and the Caribbean and everywhere else. It's another day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Hope you having, gonna have, or have had a wonderful day. And of course, to start things off right, we always need to know what's happening up above, you know. And the low temperature here overnight, and what it still is, 75 degrees. Going up to a high today of 84 degrees. Clouds and the sun will be playing hide and seek today with a minimal chance of any type of rain until later this afternoon when it becomes even more cloud covered. In fact, the sun's going to be taking a little vacation later this afternoon, and the possibility of rain is going to increase overnight until tomorrow morning. We will be getting little, well, showers, almost a 50% chance by 2 o'clock tomorrow morning into the day tomorrow. And it looks like tomorrow, Thursday, is going to have a 48% chance of rain all day long, you know. So you know how that goes. It's going to be raining, stop, rain, stop. A 48 chance, just a 50-50 chance of rain all day tomorrow. You know how it is about now, you know, the little showers. So get yourself up with your umbrella, put it in your car, put it by your bed, put it by the door right now for tomorrow morning, put it in your bag. Anyway, how you doing? In case you haven't made a note of it, the number in the studio, the telephone number, if you want to give me a ring-a-ling on the ting-a-ling, (456-0931). That's the number, 456-0931. And if you want to use WhatsApp and WhatsApp. If you want to give me a call, 485-0931. If you're out there and you've forgotten somehow the area code for St. Lucia, it's 758. It's +1 758 485-0931, and that's for WhatsApp. If you're the frugal kind, of course, if you're the frugal kind, you could send us a message, send me a message, and you can call. Try not to call on the phone lines. You know, the phone lines are for the people here, 456-0931. I tend to give very low priority to phone calls coming in via the WhatsApp line. You know, try to give the WhatsApp people and the people who don't have credit or don't want to spend too much on the calls, and especially for the people out of St. Lucia. You know, we get quite a number of calls from the diaspora. So give the diaspora an opportunity to call in. If you're local, or you call in via WhatsApp, voice. So, folks, today is Wednesday, and we know, good morning, Jamaica. We know all of what transpired on the weekend, on Saturday. We know what has been going back and forth on the circling of the wagons and everything, needlessly, compounded the issue more than anything else. But it's early morning, and maybe you'd like to wish somebody a happy birthday. I'm just going to keep it real with you here today. Just going to keep it real here with you today. So today is your opportunity to talk, to express yourself. But as usual, folks, as usual, somebody says they're seeing me in pink. And if you notice a little thing here, I busted the button up here. So I have to sew it. I can sew. And I actually have a set of needles and thread. You can buy that kit, the patch kit, when you have to do emergency work on your own clothes. So after the show this morning, I'm going to do that. I don't know if it's that obvious. Getting dressed here this morning, there's and the button just popped off, so I have it in my pocket. And we have our first caller for the morning. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Morning, brother Norbert.
Morning, how are you, sir?
It was a good show, a very nice show last night.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, you come out with everything. The way it happened, and you try to get it to the public. But I'm so confused up to now. It's more of a discussion, a short discussion.
Yeah, sure.
Because I cannot understand to what I've been listening to the tape over and over this morning. But I still cannot get for someone to go out. If I say I'm your friend, should I pay a price for that? Whether we win politics or not?
Yeah, it's just very bizarre. But you know what, caller? Let me tell you something. I think I said it, but let me just break it down a little bit so you can get my point of view on this. And those listening, those who don't want to put their voice out there or, get directly into any discussion about this, they have their thoughts, they listen, they watch. I think it's a sad situation. Everyone, I don't think this is lost on anybody, and we must keep it real. I don't think that there is anyone who has not expressed or does not feel any sympathy at the loss of the son of this gentleman. I don't think there's anybody. But what has compounded the issue? Whatever he did was wrong. I think everybody will agree with that. I don't care how political you want to be, how ridiculous you want to be. What he did was wrong. It's a straight case. There's absolutely no getting around that. What he did was wrong. Let's be fair and let's be honest with ourselves. What he did was wrong. But what I think compounded the issue, what I think needlessly and ridiculously made the situation worse, was the political response. The circling of the wagons that we have to defend for this. It's indefensible. There's no reason to accept that type of behavior. But it was compounded by a mentality that, we have to protect, we have to cover this now, we have to, everybody come around, and all of them, you know who I'm talking about, put all the black and white photos, and we stand with you and quoting Bible scriptures. And I'm telling you, caller, you'll respond to me, because this is really what's getting to me in all of this.
Yeah, but brother,
yeah,
what you expect?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised with the Labour Party, how they will come out.
But tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. With all the gurus, all the experts, the leaders and all of this, Don't you think that St. Lucian's would have accepted better that this situation would not have blown up as it did if they had simply said or allowed him to come forward and say, you know what? I realize that I did the wrong thing. I'm sorry for that. The situation caused me to fly off the handle, to exaggerate this a little bit more than it is. I made the wrong thing. Even if I was feeling this grief and whatever, I reacted wrong. I ask for your forgiveness, or whatever way you want to put it like that. I'll take a break, or I will take some time to, be with my family, blah, blah, blah. You think St. Lucian's would not have understood that?
Yeah. But one thing you have to understand, Brother Norbert.
Yeah.
After the thing happened, he had to come out. And he tried to follow the footstep of what the Labour Party have been saying before that. You see? So as if, oh, I have to stand, I have to do this, and this is what that is wrong. Because I believe Philip JP as a leader, right? If you call yourself a leader, you're supposed to calm yourself down, wait, call all the members
examine.
And say, we cannot make a statement on that thing yet.
That is right.
Until
we get everything.
Hear the full story.
That is right.
We're supposed to drive up there and have a meeting with our colleagues, because at that time it's morning and maybe and stuff. Although I have you see, there is another person, which is the wife.
Yeah.
I believe to myself, sorry, but to what I see on the tape and I listen, she was the fire behind her. She never tried to cool down her husband.
Well, at least
right?
not there.
No, I am saying what I saw on the tape.
Yeah. Just reiterate.
What I saw, I'm just talking about what I saw.
Yeah.
Right? The same way she went and grabbed him as right? Instead, she's supposed to do that from the beginning.
Yeah. Before they
cool
got
down
there.
that whole thing. But she didn't do it.
But you know what? When you leave, when you leave and you get, let me just put it this way. Do you think that barging in there or going in there would really have produced a really nice result? I think you cannot, bro, let me tell you something. You cannot demand from anybody that they speak to you, regardless of whatever your intentions are. It is also their right to not even want to talk to you. I'm not saying that's what happened, but wouldn't it have been more sensible? Well, we know there was not a lot of sensibility in it. To call and say, hey, listen, I'd like to have a talk with you about this thing. I really don't like this thing. We're going through this situation and whatever. I think that would have been a more, if you want to say, diplomatic or sensible, conflict avoiding way of dealing with it. But you left wherever you were. You parked up the road. You walked down. You had so many opportunities and so much time to think differently.
Brother, but one thing I have to say to that. You see, believe me, that will live inside of him for a long, long, long time.
This situation is sad.
Going, yes, inside of God's house and disrespect God's house where people are worshiping. I know what I'm talking about. I understand this thing. I had the experience of that, right? And I know. And sometimes, even though you wasn't involved, but sometimes it comes and you're trying to doubt: is that real? How can somebody do something like this? You know, sir? But let us move on. What I'm trying to say, Philip JP and the rest of the opposition, they totally handled that thing wrong. And I even listened on your tape. That's what I wanted you to clarify for me. If someone come to apologize using the word if, that means you're not up to it yet. Because if you come to apologize, you apologize on the behalf. Because you're supposed to think as a leader. You're supposed to think before you come on the air. When you get on the air, you're not supposed to make all those mistakes. And this is what is wrong with Philip. Philip is not I don't know. I mean, Philip's supposed to check himself. The leader of the opposition, or Mr. JPS, supposed to understand I am a leader. I come in
big role.
to give myself up.
A big role in
People
this.
of St. Lucia as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to see that in you. And I am not seeing it.
He did.
I've
He,
been
he
giving
did
him
not
all
take
the
control.
chances. I'm not trying to say anything. All I want to say, every time you come to the air, you're making a boo-boo with yourself.
Caller?
You come in as if you're gunslinger. You come in as if you own the people out there. And that is how I believe to themselves. That's the way they think.
Caller, he did not take control of the situation, and
didn't.
their
He
responses have compounded and made this whole thing a big mess. A big mess. It did not need to get to this point. But
Right.
because of, I would suppose, the politics and the looking at it through politics from Saturday night into Sunday morning, their reaction steered this thing
But
along the
check
lines
what
that
I'm
it
showing
is.
to you again, which is the labor people, which is the supporters, because when you support your party, you have all your heart into your party, right?
Yeah.
And they've been out there saying to follow all what, I mean, the opposition said before, and giving the support to the opposition, not to the man himself, right, but to the party or to the leader, what they say, oh, the man shouldn't, they're evil, they shouldn't do this, they shouldn't do that. And now you come in to apologize. Where you leave your members, how you leave them on the road, how you leave them to be thinking. If you are a leader, you leading people, you're supposed to be careful before you say a word because you have people following you, you have followers. And this is what he do not understand. You cannot just go out there and grab by your mouth and then you put in your people, to understand, as if they cannot even understand what's going on. They're confused because my leader saying one thing and now he coming out saying why he didn't think. I'll tell you something. There is a group in New York. I mean, it's a group of social media and labor, UWP, independent, undecided voters. Because of the how would I say that? Anti-white people. Should I say it like that? Because I don't even know how to put it. He caused those people to be so pissed off, whether Labour, UWP, to say, and the saying of the qui savent Philippe JP a ouvert bouche li ka parler avec Jean Blanc. Laissez bay Jean Blanc nous ka ta ici. C'est Jean Blanc qui en cause nous l'Amérique qui fait l'argent. These are the things you have to be careful. Let me say something to you. Everybody's saying what they have to say about all the other members on the Labour Party. But if Philip J. he ain't ready to lead this country. And I believe to myself, he have a chance to come out and show some leadership in him.
Yeah.
And I don't know when he's going to do that. Brother Norbert,
Yes.
your show last night, I have to tell you, I was watching it. You get to 1.2 last night.
Yeah.
And the last buddy, his last show was about 422.
Well,
So I
you know what,
say,
caller? I don't pay too much attention to that.
no. Because I watch these things carefully. Because if I am a political person, I'm on the ground watching things. All these things matter to me. So that is my game. I watch it.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of
I have
ways.
to congratulate you
Thank you very much. Thank
because people now following the truth, and this is what, and keep it so, right? Make sure you always on it and respect everybody that call. Give them a fair hearing and discuss with them in a good manner. Have a blessed day, my friend.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Folks, let me tell you something. People get, it's all well and good, but there's lots more information behind the numbers than just the numbers. Let me just keep it that way and keep it simple. And we have a call via WhatsApp. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Mr. Norbert.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Fantastic, and you?
I'm doing good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Mr. Norbert, I'm going to tell you just a few things which I think is really going to need to be answered. First of all, I just want to tell you that I am a member of a little group that we have put together of young people that I should say we are undecided when it comes to elections for this time around. We are at a membership of about 65.
Okay.
And we're growing strong. It's all over the island. And what we do, we listen to all talk shows, we listen to all programs, we watch all interviews and all of that. And so far, your show is one of our shows that of one of the shows that we're really impressed with,
Well, I'm
especially
glad to
when it
hear
comes
that.
to keeping it real.
I'm glad to hear that.
All right. There are a few others, but we're still kind of, like I said, undecisive. Now, Mr. Norbert, when it comes to keeping it real, I do not just want it to be keeping it real just for one particular party. All right. And one of the things that I will say is that as much as we have not received what we were supposed to when the St. Lucia Labour Party was in power, they did a few things for the country. All right. And we have to say that. It's not that they did everything wrong. They did a few things. It's not as much as we expected and we wanted, but they did. Anyway, moving along. When it came to that thing that happened on Saturday, Mr. Norbert, what if it was a layman on the street which did that?
Well, you know, a
What
lot of
would have
people
been
have
the
said so.
outcome
Many
at the
people
moment?
many people
I
have
just
asked
want
that
to-
question. Many people have
Okay,
asked that
that is one of
question.
them.
Yeah. Okay.
But from your point of view, what do you think would have been the outcome?
Well,
Do you think police would have been
Yeah.
called in and persons would have been arrested
yeah,
and
yeah.
all of that?
I absolutely believe that.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. None of that happened. Investigations are going on and nobody has been actually arrested or anything like that. Fine.
Well,
Okay.
hold on a second, caller. Just to be honest, you know, full visibility here. The police did have a press conference, and if I recall correctly, one of the requirements for something like that is that a complaint has to be lodged, because the police were not on the scene at the time. So, so let me explain to you. Because number one, someone would have to be arrested, or you would have to be summoned. There's the options. Now you can only effect an arrest. The reasons, what is an arrest? The taking of a person into custody to answer, according to law, a specified charge or alleged offense. Under what conditions can a police officer arrest? On view, if he's viewing, if he sees it in front of him, on suspicion, and you must have reasonable grounds to suspect, or on the charge of a third person where the charge is well founded. All of that is important. Now, if the police officer has not seen, if he was not around to have the suspicion, and if a charge or a report has not been made, and it's not an egregious crime, a felony, something of the sort, the police can't just go out and arrest somebody because he hears that there's talk around. So a formal complaint has to be made. You get me so far?
Well, I would
right.
Yes, wonderful. But I would assume a formal complaint was made because the police chief came out and he had a press conference.
But there were other things being discussed there as well. It wasn't only that situation. Also, the police can also proceed via summons.
Okay. All right, Mr. Norbert. Wonderful. Thanks for the edification. Also, I watched, I listened to Andre Paul's What Makes You Mad yesterday.
Yeah.
And two main questions were asked to Mr. Pierre, and he have not answered the question up to a day like today. They asked Mr. Pierre, the party said that they were going to close Ojo Labs if they do come in power. What does he have to say about it? He beat all around the bush. He talked about the call centers. They had the idea about call, and up to a day like today, he have not answered. Number one.
Well,
Number two, they
caller,
asked him about.
hold on a second here. 1 second. I was listening as well, and if I recall correctly, I think Philip JP said that they would not be closing down Ojo Labs. What they were interested in was more transparency and all of that. Well, I don't, to be quite honest, I don't understand the validity of that.
Mr. Robert, he never actually said he would not. He said all that they wanted was transparency. He never said that we will not close down Ojo Labs, which was the question at hand. The question at hand was, will you all close Ojo Labs?
Well, he has a way of doing that, eh?
Yes or no.
He has a way of
but
doing
he played around with it in words and in sentences and all kind of other stuff, which he never did answer it directly.
You're right.
And the other question was about Sky FM.
Yeah.
Ask him about Sky FM. Then he jumped up and he said he doesn't even know who's the owner of Sky FM. Then what is Sky FM? And
not an answer. Not an answer.
Then he brought down Radio Kilibui. He brought Radio Kilibui into the play. He brought Radio St. Lucia. All other stuff. But Sky FM is what they're talking about, which he never answered again directly. Okay.
That's
so
right.
there are a lot of stuff that Mr. Pierre, I think he's tired, and either he needs to step down or retire or something, because Mr. Pierre, I don't know, he's just not focused. He's not stable when it comes to what he's saying, and I think Mr. Pierre needs he needs to take a break or something, because it's taking a toll on him. All right, and his memory. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it real. Thank you so much. WhatsApp 485-0931, or if you want to give me a ring-a-ling on the ting-a-ling, 456-0931. We have our next call. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yes, good morning.
Morning, sir. Good morning. Hi, how are you?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much. Could do with some more sleep, but that's fine.
What a great show last night.
Oh, thank you very much.
Listen, Robert.
Yes.
I'm putting this from my own understanding. What did the Seventh-day Adventist Church doing a charge against that man?
Did they file a complaint? I don't know. At this point, I can find out, but at this point, not that I'm aware of.
If they are not, I'm telling the Seventh-day Adventists, step up, step on. They have to, any position that man has in his church, they have to take away from him and let him take a back seat in the church. I'm telling them that, because that will bring something up with the Seventh-day Adventist Church. People will be talking about that. Mr. Robert,
yes,
it is not easy for a church for somebody to come to a church and create this kind of problem when a service is going. If he's a layman, a little boy on the street that had to do that, right now he was inside jail. If that cannot happen, the guy that burned the thing from Opicon, they have to free him up. Free them up. Free him up. Because that's showing us in St. Lucia, that any man that has position, like nothing happening to them. And they have to stop. I want the Seventh-day Adventists to step up. The top head step up and do the right thing. Let that man pay for what he has done. Don't think about he's a Seventh-day Adventist. No, he's not. He's not. I think he's one of the devil. The devil, one of the devil guys that coming around. Seventh Adventists, please step up. Step up and do the right thing. Come on, Seventh Adventists, come on. Because if not, that will bring a big thing all over the world. All over the world.
I don't know about that. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real. Thanks a lot. 4560931. You can call in today and have your say. You can talk about what you'd like to highlight. It's your day today. It's your day. I'm not setting the agenda this morning. I'm going to give you the opportunity to talk. And of course, as always, I encourage you. Well, the Keeping It Real crew already know that you got to keep it real around here, and that especially here, it's, no kind of funny business is going to be accepted. I think this one came in first on WhatsApp, so I'm going to take that. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Mr. Norbert.
Yes, good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you very much. Hello?
This is my first time
First time you get the bell.
First time calling.
Thank you so much for calling.
Okay, I am a St. Lucian, but I live in the United States.
Yeah.
I am from the Tiroche Geno area.
Okay, great.
I used to go to the forest. I used to go to the Forestier SDA Church, and we don't tolerate that kind of behavior in our congregation.
Yeah.
Our congregation, we go by the book. We don't tolerate that kind of behavior, and that this is very, very wrong. But I want to come down to cast my vote. I do not even know if my name is registered, because the last time I voted was when Romanus Lancico was there. That's the last time I voted.
That's a long time ago.
A long time, and right now my name has changed.
Oh.
And I don't have that name anymore, so I do not know how to come re-register.
Okay, so well, you would have to do that. First of all, what I would recommend is that, well, if you've left such a long time, your name may very well no longer be on the voters list. However, if you go to sluelectoral.com, you can do a search in there for your name and see if your name's still on the list.
Oh.
That should start the ball rolling for you.
I cannot do it in person. Maybe I should do it in person instead. I don't know if I should
No, hold on a second.
Person.
What you can do, the first thing to do, the easiest thing for you to do, because you're all the way up there in MD, is go to sluelectoral.com and check to see if your name is on there. Then the next thing that you will have to do is, if you're coming to St. Lucia and you'd like to vote, then you need to get your ID. If you want to change your name on your ID, then you'll have to provide the documentation. Or, if you would like, the best thing to do is call the electoral office if you'd like to speak to somebody about that. The number is 452-8211.
Okay,
I'm sorry, 452-3811.
Okay, 452-3811.
That's right.
Okay, I'm writing it down, Mr. Norbert.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I have a pen in that book.
But if you'd like, I can have somebody give you a call, and they will give you some more information about that, and maybe refer you to one of our missions or consulate offices. There's one not too far from you in DC.
All right.
So
all the way in DC. Yeah, I've been there. I've been to that embassy.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I can have somebody give you a call. I can have somebody give you a call, and they could give you some more information about that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I have the number. You call the number 452.
3811.
Okay. 452. 3811. Okay. I'm going to check them out, Mr. Norbert.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Day.
I'll pass on your number.
Bye.
Okay. Have a great day.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. 4560931 in the studio. Somebody was calling a while ago, and this call came ahead of you. And on WhatsApp, if you'd like to call in or send a message, the number for WhatsApp is 485-093, and we have quite a few messages already this morning. Wow. we have our next call.
Hi.
Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Mr. Donald Williams,
Good morning, how are you?
fast to become the #1 talk show host on the planet.
I don't know about that.
Good morning to my people from Conway, Bannerville, Darren Road. Must not forget the great men, the Michael Shaste and Sir Peter Josie. How you guys doing? Hope you're better health. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belma George and the Dream Team. Good morning to you. Lucia Bonjour.
You need to
Mr.
turn,
Williams.
caller, you know the rules already. You know what's required. You need to turn down your device in the background.
Oh, it's so close. I got a slap at me,
Hey, well, you got to turn it down. You may not hear it, but it still comes in out of sync, and then it
All
drives
right,
me
okay.
crazy.
All right. I got a lot of. I just got certificate.
It sounds very different to you when you hear it in the background and when it comes through the system and you're hearing it in your ears.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
the first caller that called, I think it was the first caller, and he said he's got a group of 63 or 70.
Well, that was the
Can you
second
remember?
caller. That was the second caller.
But there was a caller that called and he has a group of
Yeah. The youth.
a youth group.
He said it's the youth. Number of
A
young
youth group.
people.
Okay, that's nice. Congrats, my man. Mr. Williams,
Yeah.
all these, as the word you use, shenanigans are going on. It started with Mr. Guy, It started with one of our great men, great minds of the country. So Michael Shaste, and Sir Peter Josie. It started there. When they tampered with his vehicle. You forget that?
Whose vehicle?
With Sir Michael Shaste's vehicle. A man that put food on the table of thousands of solutions. A man that did more than any solution, singularly or combined. Okay? And Sir Peter Josie. That man, what's his name? Joachim? A couple of callers called yesterday and said how you threatened them with gun already. Okay?
Well, caller,
I-
hold on a
okay,
second.
no,
Hold on.
okay.
I'm not going to go down that road. I have no way of
Okay.
verifying that's hearsay.
Okay, let's leave that alone. I agree. Let's leave that alone. So what he's done in the church, on Saturday, on the Sabbath, the first thing that man should have done to the joke up here is to tell that man to resign, step down. Not get to no buts about that. Step down. And he beat around the bush and beat around, and he ain't said that about guys the one that's suffering there, he and his wife. Huh? What if guys said things about him? That's politics. He plays his too thin skin, not SFPs, all those things that they want thin skin than anybody else. They like to share the licks, but they can't take. A bunch of hands, they call them. A bunch of sissies. Okay? He can't beat guy. Guy ain't gonna talk bad about you to beat you. You can't beat guy, not even guy sleep. Not even guy drunk. Okay? You gotta step down. We don't want you as a leader of the country. We don't want the SFP. That's the same thing I've been saying about the SFP. Give me one good reason why they should be on the ballot. And you know something, Mr. Williams, what I realize?
What's that?
All these so-called criminals is on the SFP side,
I don't know about that.
All these so-called criminals in real life is on the SFP side. Especially a radio station, I would never call it. I won't call it name. You know what I'm talking about. It seems to me, I'm getting the impression over here, as far as the SFP is concerned, crime pays. They never tell somebody
Caller,
when
wait,
they're wrong. They never-
how can you say
all they
that?
do-
Caller, hold on a
No.
second. You can't say that. So,
But listen, I never hear SFP tell them
Caller,
when they're wrong yet, when
caller.
they're doing nonsense.
caller,
Okay?
I don't think you can make that carte blanche statement.
SFP is a tribe of the devil. Period. We don't need those guys to lead us. Okay? People of St. Lucia, especially the youth, don't vote for those guys. Make sure they go, not one. Don't put one of them in the House Assembly. They all have to go. They all have to go. Henry, you have to step down. You think you're the only person that lost a son? Yes, you lost a child. We understand that. My condolences. But you got to take a nonsense, go to the church and got people there scared. And those children must be having nightmares. They must be having nightmares, replaying that thing in the sleep. Huh? You're disgusting. Just like the SFP. You're disgrace. Okay? This is what I'll call you back later.
Thank you very much.
I go up the world stage.
Have a great day. Thank you very much. 4560931. Good morning to you, wherever you are. Today's Wednesday, the 28th day of April, 2021. And things are surely picking up with the clock ticking on elections in St. Lucia. Very interesting, the things that are being said, the things that are being said out of turn, the things that are being said on the spur of the moment, impulsively, the things that are done. We have our next call. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, good morning.
Hey,
good morning.
Look who's here. It's the man from Leclerc.
Are you impressed?
Very. You made it. You're a little late, though. We're going to have to cut your pay.
Better late than never. You know, arrogance is one of the things that man needs to get rid of. Arrogance. Arrogance is dangerous. There is an old story of a man who was driving the highway at 80 miles per hour. His vehicle ended up crashing into a lamp pole. He ended up with a terrible, terrible stiff neck. Indeed, when they rushed the man into the hospital, the doctor examined the man and discovered it wasn't the accident that caused that terrible stiff neck, but instead, it was his own arrogance. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, caller. Have a great day, you too. And good morning to all the minibus drivers and everybody who's out there already, making their way to work, to school, to wherever you have to go, on the minibuses around the island. Good morning to you, and thank you for tuning in to Sky FM. And if you have your headphones on and you're listening on your mobile device, thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Good morning to all the policemen out there. Good morning to all the firemen and the nurses and doctors and
Just one more thing, Mr. Williams.
gas station attendants. Good morning to you. Morning.
One more thing, Mr. Williams.
Yeah.
Former minister, former Barbados minister, political minister, government minister, was given a couple of years in America for money laundering, etc., etc., etc. Okay? And he done that while he was a minister, a government minister in Barbados. They made him an example in America. That's what I'm talking about. They give a few years, right now he's in the pen.
In the calaboose.
Hello?
In the calaboose.
Kenny Anthony should be there doing 100 years.
Okay, caller. Hey. 4560931. 4560931. Give me a call. Do you know, folks, that calaboose is actually a word? It's not just a St. Lucian thing, it's an English word. C-A-L-A-B-O-O-S-E. The calaboose, meaning prison. And caboose, maybe somebody tell me what caboose means. Well, I'll tell you, it's the last car on the train, the caboose. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Mr. Nabot. How are you?
Morning, sir. I'm doing good, thank you.
Yeah, enjoy your show last night.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. Briefly, Mr. Nobot, I was just wanted to add a little bit about the incident that took place. I don't know if you would want me to trade in on that ground.
Of course, you can express your thoughts on that.
Now, I tell you, Mr. Nobot, as one who grew up in a Seventh-day Adventist church, I have a lot of regard for Seventh-day Adventists because I know they believe in the Bible and then they speak the truth. And I know once you are a true committed Seventh-day Adventist member, there are a lot of things that you would not get yourself involved into. Okay? You would want to observe the Adventist rules all the time.
Well, one thing, caller,
right.
I have to stop you there. We have all sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So I hope you're not trying to give the impression, I believe you're not, but I just want to put it out there, that Seventh-day Adventist or any other is any different. Because I believe all the religions have their, or let's just stick to the Christian faith. All shades of the Christian faith have good intentions. The problem is with man. So just the distinction
I know.
there. Yeah.
I know, but what I'm saying is that Seventh Adventists, in terms of their religious belief when it's come to the Sabbath, they totally different from other religion with that principle which keep the Sabbath the holy and all these things.
Okay.
You know, and then that is why I said that. So, but I'll have more to say that. I just mean that.
Sure,
but briefly,
yeah.
the motorcade in Mekun was, I listened to the commissioner of police. There was no approval for that.
Yeah.
That is that already. That is a sign that already break the law. You could see where is that leading to. Was what I was told when I listened to Mandy Lewis with her comment. She says there was no member of the hierarchy of the party was involved in the motorcade, and that is clearly a lie.
Well,
they had top official in that motorcade.
Well, now, I saw that video. And I don't know if you want to call it hierarchy, but one of the candidates, in fact, it was a motorcade for the candidate.
Well, probably there are things you did not know. Maybe later you will get to know. But the other things I was told, the gentleman is in question up to now did not pay his 800,000 plus euro in Matnik. So
well, I don't know, but that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant, caller.
They want to know whether if it is the party that will pay its bill for him.
That's irrelevant. Caller, that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant here in St. Lucia.
No, well, that was told by a particular.
Caller, I don't care about that. That's irrelevant right here. I don't go down those lines. That's something that can be dealt with.
I am saying. These people already break the law. That because we still in COVID and the protocol, so the protocol was not followed there. And you could see the behavior between the crowd and the police. Again, it showed you the sign clearly that was heading for another direction. I will leave that there for now. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it real. I like to stick with relevant stuff. That sort of thing is, very short period of time. Medical bills have always been things that have to be settled and over time, and arrangements can be made and those things can be. So I'm not going to go down that line with that. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
I'm just calling a quick one. I guarantee I was watching the motorcade and I
caller, do you have the caller? Do you have the call on the phone on speaker? It's very garbled.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Yeah, it sounds like you're talking from across the room.
Oh no, I don't know. And the thing that, like I said, I saw the motorcade and I was following the motorcade and I see Dr. Hille when Jeremiah reached by his mom or by his when he get out the car. When the police come, I see Dr. Hille and Sean Edward was there. Both of them was there.
Okay.
I see them.
Okay.
So, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Maybe you want to restart that phone. Usually when your phone starts sounding like that, it needs a little restart,
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for keeping it real. All the way from the UK. St. Lucians are keeping in touch. Okay, folks, I have a number of messages here, so I'll start with the first one. Good morning, Norbert. I watched the video several times, and that would be the one in the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Forest here. I watched the video several times, and it made me very sad. It is clear that the minister demonstrated absolute patience with Joachim Henry and his wife, who was the main instigator, in my opinion. I'm so disappointed in that lady. Her voice was the loudest in that church. Mr. Henry's remarks sounded very childish to me. The wife should be encouraging her husband to get the help he needs instead of doing that sort of cheerleading. I want to say to the minister and his wife to be strong and keep on believing in the Lord and not let the bullies get to you. You behaved like the bigger persons in this entire situation. Don't worry about the hacks. St. Lucians are watching and listening. Let's get to the next message. Thank you very much for that message. Good morning, Mr. Williams. How are you? I'm doing good this morning. Great show last night. Thank you very much. You could have put in the clip showing We Will Fight You and the nastiest elections and Dominica. But I guess you can always play it every day, every day. I'm sure I can. Wow. Okay. Good morning, Norbert. With all the mudslinging on Guy Joseph and his wife from the time he became a minister of government, so now their very own now is some form of saint and shouldn't be touched. What I find, which is so ridiculous, when the opposition leader said they have the facts and video on what Guy Joseph said, but when he was asked by the talk show host, does he have the video to prove what he's saying? Oh no, we can't show it, we can't play it here, it's not good for radio. That's what he said. Philip J. Pierre is not fit for office. He behaves like a comic. And furthermore, if Philip J. Pierre has nothing to say that is of substance, he should keep quiet. Next one. Good morning, Mr. Williams. There is no excuse for such behavior. Whichever angle you choose to watch it from, it is wrong. In the video, it is clear that the confrontation was based on political feelings. Also, the moment Minister Joseph sent his condolences, he, that is Joachim Henry, could have told him, he could have told him what he wanted. He could have responded the way that he felt. They crossed paths all the time in the constituency. Why not confront him there? You choose a church disgraced and appalled with this behavior. I'm reading things live as they're typed, so sometimes they're a little, they can be typos, and sometimes autocorrect puts in the wrong words, so sometimes I got to figure out what's going on there. Yeah. And also, I guess that's with regard to the person who called about the ID card earlier, so you can get in touch with Dr. Joycelyn Fletcher. But I'm sure they'll get the information they need. I would like someone to correct Mr. Pierre. He kept repeating that he brought water. Yeah, that's right, caller. I brought it up last week. That he brought water to Pave from 1997 when the SLP came into office. But this is not true. I lived in Pave from 1973, and that's when I moved there myself, and I find it very strange that Philip J. Pierre would say that, because there's no accuracy in that statement at all. From 1973, and there was water already from the bottom of Pave to the top of Pave. You're absolutely right, caller. And then listening to his statement last night about Joe Biden and Donald Trump's son dying and Biden suspending his campaign, I don't know. I don't know. Totally. I don't know. From the bottom of Pave all the way to the top of Pave, one would get 3 standpipes. That's right, caller. The top one was just after Jane's shop. You're right, caller. It's exactly what I said. The Western Bar. And a little before and opposite Sikra's house, also a little higher, was what we used to call a freeness. He also never addressed directly the question that was put to him about the closing down of Ojo Labs by his government if they win the upcoming elections. Also, for heaven's sake, Mr. Pierre is trying to make me believe he does not know about Sky FM and who owns it. Caller, you're absolutely right. He don't know anything about... Well, he said he doesn't know who the owners are. But he listens to the show. I'm sure he's listening now. I know he listened and he watched last night. But, he'll pretend that he doesn't know. Oh, what? No, no, no. Yeah, you're listening. You'll go all the way in the House of Parliament and talk about keeping it real. Every day, every day. Huh? What was that about? You didn't know? Everybody talks, all of them talking about champagne and champagne in the morning and Dr. Secret and Ring the Bell and all of them. They don't need, please. The hottest shows in the land right now. Let me give the bell to Sky FM. New Kid on the Block. Hottest programs in the land. Dr. Secret, it's getting hot in here. How you like that? The truth shall set you free. That's right, the truth shall set you free. Free, man. I don't believe you, and I cannot believe you, and I will not believe you, Mr. Pierre. Hence the reason I cannot trust and support you getting into power. This one is also beyond my belief. Let's go to the next message. Good morning, Mr. Norbert. They can try all what they want, but not a damn seat for them. Next one. Let's see here. Charges to be laid. I think that was alluded to by the commissioner in that press statement yesterday with regard to the motorcade, the unlawful, the unapproved motorcade during a state of emergency and with the protocols. The SLP is a rogue party. They defy all laws, challenge the police, and the police seem to be intimidated by the SLP. The SDA Church is expected to make a statement on the incident at the church. The incident at the church. The church should not try to settle this internally, as this would set a dangerous precedent in the land. No cover-up this time, church. The nation is watching. The SLP is denying that the motorcade... The SLP is denying that the motorcade was planned. They deny everything that is on the record, yet they want to present themselves as government. Are they mad? What is the difference between the invasion of the church and the invasion of the Piton lands by the SLP hopeful? The SLP pattern of behavior is suspect and criminal at all turns, yet they deny the obvious. I think they should reconsider contesting the next elections. Norbert, I'm sending you 2 photos of the Pave standpipe. Please print and send to Mr. Pierre. He never saw them before because he don't spend time at Pave. I think he should take a drive up there because I think the base of the standpipes are still there. I don't know, are there any that are still connected? Norbert, great show last night. Thank you. Mrs. Henry accused Guy Joseph of being evil. Does she not realize that what she did in the house of the Lord was more than evil? Shaking my head. Next message. Good morning. Mr. Pierre got his Trump-Biden example all wrong and mixed up. But that happens when he is trying to score cheap points. He is just full of idle talk. Phone is back. Ready for your calls. 456-0931. Give me a call. Give me a ring-a-ling on the ting-a-ling. 456-0931. And of course, WhatsApp is 485-0931. Folks, it's your day today. You could call in and give me your point of view. And we have another call. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Brother Norbert. I'm very late today, but good morning. Great show last night.
Thank you very much. You're late, so we're going to have to dock your pay.
But they say, like Mr. Leclerc will say, better late than never. Mr. Norbert,
talk to me.
I don't want to talk on. I don't want to go. I mean, Joachim Henry and the Labour Party. This incident at the SDA Church in Forest here. As far as I'm concerned, you presented the evidence, the video. They say picture tells 1,000 words. As far as I'm concerned, it showed the reckless behavior of Joachim Henry and his wife, which I don't want to go into detail. And it also showed
the restraint of Guy Joseph.
Right, because Joachim Henry was the aggressor, Guy was not the aggressor. And it also showed that the Labour Party, they are about breaking laws. Because when that happened, they came out, as everybody knows, with the black and white photos and trying to create some sympathy for Joachim Henry. And last night, when you showed the video, it says a lot. Secondly, I heard the Commissioner of Police had a press conference with the so-called illegal, unlawful motorcade they had in Miku.
Yeah.
And a caller called you and he said Ernest Healy and Sean Edward was there.
He said he saw them on video.
So, they were there, and that was well planned. So it was well planned, well coordinated, everything.
Because from what I understand, the individual in question for whom the motorcade was organized had returned from Martinique and had done his quarantine in St. Lucia, his home quarantine, the 2 weeks that were required or whatever period was stipulated for him. And the motorcade was held after that. There had to have been some level of planning. He's coming out. There had to have been some level of planning and organization for that. It was not spontaneous and it wasn't accidental.
And to make it to add insult to injury, there's a clip. I think somebody showed it on their show. That he was in this
BMW
vehicle with no mask. And there's a particular point where some supporter had to tell him, put your mask on. So the point I'm making is, Heritage, the Labour Party, is planning a motorcade for this individual. Did not get police approval when the state of emergency is still into effect. That tells St. Lucians that the Labour Party are lawbreakers on all odds. And I hope, and if the Commissioner of Police is listening, Mr. Milton Daisy, I hope, sir, when you going to arrest, because there are going to be some arrests, when you're going to arrest people for the illegality, the unlawfulness of what happened last Saturday, you go after Ernest Healy and Sean Edward because they were there. They were part of the motorcade. Do not go and arrest the average supporters only. Lock them up too, sir.
Well, usually when you have organized transgressions of the law like that, you tend to ignore or go for the organizers, the leaders, those who made everything come together. I mean, this is what am I gonna say?
Because one of the things, Mr. Norbert, that St. Lucians have been pissed off about is that the law is for some and the law is not for some.
Well, like the SLP says, there are two St. Lucias, so I guess that shows it right there. The two St. Lucias that they want to talk about,
So when the police is going to take the action and effecting arrest, I want them to arrest Ernest Healy and Sean Edward. Also with this Joachim Henry, the Commissioner of Police said yesterday, there's an investigation. I'm not going to preempt the investigation, but we all saw what happened last night. Joachim Henry ought to be arrested because he broke the law. As you said, and all other callers said it, the criminal code says you cannot disrupt a sacred place, i.e. a church. So it shows
a maximum fine of $1,000.
That is correct. So there's a young man who called and he said he has a group of 65 undecided voters. That, so I'm appealing to this young man who called and his group. This tells you guys clearly that you cannot put your vote by the St. Lucia Labour Party because I'm sure you can see clearly that they are lawbreakers. So, young man, encourage your other members to do the right thing. Keep St. Lucia safe. Do not gamble your future. You see what's happening around the country with this government and the number of development projects and stuff that's happening. Encourage your members, young man, if you're listening to me, to vote, do the right thing, and vote for the United Workers' Party. Brother Norbert,
Thank you very much,
and have a good day.
Thank you very much. You too. I just want to read with regard to the criminal offenses, section 566 says irreverence near a place of worship during service or cemetery during burial. Person who A, behaves irreverently near any church, chapel, or other building for religious worship during divine service. B, behaves irreverently or indecently in or near any public burial ground during the burial of a dead body, is liable on summary conviction to a fine of $1,000 or for imprisonment for up to a year. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Morning, Robert.
Morning, sir.
About this, or how they call it, a drive home. Yeah, I guess
Well, and what are you referring to when you say this drive home?
the Jeremiah
Or the motorcade
the motorcade.
on Saturday afternoon. Ironically, on the same day, the same day we fall the fracas in Forestier.
Okay. I heard this lady, what's her name, the press secretary she is?
Monty Lewis?
Party?
Monty Lewis?
Monty Lewis. Saying it was not a motorcade, it was drive home.
But he was home already, he had been in quarantine.
Hold on. Let's clarify this.
Yeah.
It's a drive home. You drive from Poile. Listen, you live in Monrepo. You live in Monrepo. You leave Monrepo, you go down to Poile. You drive from Poile. You come back, you pass through Monrepo. You leave Monrepo. You drive through Loba. You leave Loba, and you drive through the Miko village, but it's a drive home.
But what about at the end of it all, there were fireworks as well, I understand?
I didn't see that pattern.
I heard something about that.
But what I'm saying, you have a drive home, it was a motorcade. There's no running or escaping away from it.
But caller, that's the usual fluff and bluff of the SLP, that they say something and they want it to have the meaning that they want. Like inject $100 million immediately into the economy and other such
issue
things.
I have is with the leader of the opposition on Andrew Paul's show. He said he has the clip of the Joachim business.
Yeah, on his phone, he said.
On his phone.
Yeah.
When Andrew Paul asked him to make it public, he said no.
He can't play that on air.
It is going too low.
But he had offered first,
He had
to
offered
play
first.
it. And then, when he had the opportunity to play it, then he said, no, that's not, you can't put that on radio.
Justify what Joachim Henry did.
Oh
You have
my
to play it.
gosh.
Simple.
Oh my gosh.
What you hiding it for?
Caller, that's just another fluff and bluff. That's a...
people see through these things. And Mr. Pierre is somebody I looked and held in high regard. But that has gone out of the window. I think Mr. Pierre is under pressure. He knows that's his last shot in the political arena. And after this next election, is do or die for him. And he's making a lot of blunders with himself.
I think Fortuna Belrose has him very discombobulated.
I don't know. I just don't know what is going on. I don't know. And my heart goes out to Mr. Joachim Henry. For getting himself in this in this.
You know what, caller? Out of all of this and from everybody else, regardless of the criticism of his actions, I think everyone I have heard comment on this, whether it's on radio, whether it's on a call-in show, whether it's in person, people having their conversations, they have all separated the issues. And I don't think there is anybody out there who does not feel sympathy for him and his family because of the loss of his son, of their brother or relative. The situation that occurred in the church, they may want to draw or to ascribe connections with it, but I think they are two very distinct situations that an excuse is being made now for the actions because of the grief. Unfortunately, it's an unfortunate situation.
In the clip that you played I saw last night, I heard him saying something about he spent his own money and story.
But caller, he spent his own money to campaign, he bought his own vehicle.
He said he spent money on his campaign, but he must remember the clips are there. Dr. Anthony said he'll spend any amount of money to get rid of Guy Joseph.
Oh, he
Dr.
said
Anthony
that?
made that statement publicly.
Where did he say that?
Publicly.
Where did he say that?
I think it was in Parliament or in at a public meeting. I can't remember. But the statement was made.
I haven't heard that before.
Any amount of
maybe
money.
Our callers can. Maybe
campaign.
Our callers can.
It was in the last election campaign. He will spend any amount of money to see that Guy Joseph does not return to the Parliament of St. Lucia.
Really? So that's interesting. I'll have to verify that.
It's a fact. And the clips are available. Get them. But I don't know. No, but have a nice day.
Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it real. 4560931. You're tuned into Sky FM 93.1 on your radio dial around St. Lucia, wherever you are. Just leave it there. And if you're driving right now, don't touch that dial. Tell that person, move your hand. Move your hand, Mr. Man. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Good morning to you if you're on your way to work, my friend. How are you? Good morning. We have another call. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Norbert.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you very much. How are you?
Well, holding on.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to your program, and I heard a caller said that Mr. Pierre on Andre make the statement that he have the clip with what
Guy Joseph
Henry.
Yeah.
What Mr. Guy Joseph said to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he refused to play it. Can we play that clip back, please?
Which clip is that? I don't know which clip he has.
The one he said he have the statement which Guy Joseph made to.
Well, I don't know what clip that is.
Oh, Andre.
Oh, you're talking about that.
Yes.
Well, we can do that. I don't have that lined up to play this morning.
Oh, I see.
I don't have that lined up.
Yeah, because I remember he asked Andre whether if he can play the clip, and Andre said no. I mean, to be fair to him.
Mm-hmm.
You there?
I am.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair to the balance, I believe.
I'll see if I can. I see if I can line that up. Let me see if I can line that up for you.
Yes, I'll appreciate.
But that was not planned for this morning. That was last night.
Have a good day.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for keeping it real. Well, folks, since we got a request, let me see if I can get to that this morning for you. Let's have a look. 4560931. Somebody sent me a message here, and they said, it says, isn't the yes, he did say that, Kenny Anthony, that he would spend any amount of money to get rid of Guy Joseph. I can't send it to you. It's an HD video. And somebody sent me here. Oh, it's interesting. Somebody sent me a screenshot of the. Get all of them. Of the St. Lucia Labour Party page. It says the SLP was live. I wonder how that happened. And we have the vehicle and the license plate is there and all the people with their flags and surrounding the cars, and it looks like an SLP organized motorcade to me. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Hi, morning.
Morning, sir.
All the debacle with Guy Joseph now.
Say that again, caller.
All the debacle with Guy Joseph and
all the what? I'm not hearing that bit.
debacle, the debacle.
Oh, debacle.
With these two people.
Yeah.
I never heard anybody say anything about the offense that was committed by disturbing religious service.
Well, actually, that has been spoken about. I did speak about it yesterday morning. I actually just read off one of the sections that made it unlawful, with the maximum fine of $1,000 and up to 1 year in prison.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, section 566 and 567.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for keeping it real.
I know the section myself.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much. 456-0931. Let's see if we have any messages via WhatsApp. Oh, we have quite a few here again. Wow. Okay, let's go with the messages. Good morning, Mr. Norbert. Why is Mr. Pierre always angry? Why can't he take his time to talk instead of quarreling? Mr. Pierre shouldn't be chosen as St. Lucia's next PM. Good morning, Mr. Norbert. I am wondering why Philip J. Pierre says we would like to apologize to the Adventist Church for what we did to them. The operative word being we. Is he saying that they knew what was going down and the whole thing was planned? I will not put anything past the SLP Roro party. Next one. What's this say? Oh, somebody sent... Okay, somebody sent me the photos of the standpipes on Pave, and hey, they look just like I remember them from way back then. They don't have any standpipe heads. They're not functional, but they're still there. Wow, all of this time. Thank you very much for that, caller. You know, strangely enough, Philip JP has never responded to that since last week when I called him out on it, and I called him out again last night. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Norbert.
Morning, sir.
I'm using your medium this morning, with your permission, please, Inspector Morgan.
Morning, sir.
I have a property belonging to a young man, Alan D. Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
His property, but we do not know, we have no reports in the stations on it. I would like to leave my number so you can get in touch with me.
Yeah.
518-3757. We've checked the books already as if no reports were made. But I have his property.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get in touch with him, but to no avail.
Sergeant Morgan, Inspector Morgan?
Inspector Morgan, yes.
Yes.
If you can call me, I can get him that information.
Okay,
I can tell him how to reach me to get it.
Okay.
The name on the item is Alan, A-L-I-A-N, D. Joseph.
Okay, Alien. A-L-I-A-N or A-L-L?
Yes, A-L-I-A-N.
Okay.
Alien, I think. Alien D. Joseph.
Okay.
So that's the only information I have, and we tried all the stations, all our thing. We cannot get his name developed in the system.
Great. So he can give you a call. Is there any police station that he can call as well, or is that the number?
He can call at the Community Relations Branch, 456 3713 or 14.
Okay, Community Relations Branch.
Yes, CRB.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Inspector Morgan.
Much appreciated, sir.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Okay, folks, a message going out from the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. You just heard Inspector Morgan said that there is property belonging to one Alian D. Joseph, A-L-I-A-N D. Joseph, and that's the marks on the package or whatever it is, the property. And yes, it's at the CRB. You can give Inspector Morgan a call, 518-3757. 518-3757. If anybody knows Alian D. Joseph, he has property which has his name on it, and it's in the custody of the police. You may call Inspector Morgan at telephone number 518-3757 or the Community Relations Bureau, CRB, at 456-3713 or 456-3714. Now, just something for you folks. Many people may be wondering, but why you don't say what it is? If you lost something, you know what you lost. And that prevents or avoids people calling in and saying, hey, well, I lost a watch. The police don't really put out information regarding that. So when you call in, you're going to have to say what your property is supposed to be that was lost. And therefore it makes it much easier, because lots of people show up and say, well, I lost a wallet, I lost a this, I lost a that, I lost a wallet. Yes, it's a black wallet. You said it was black. So, Mr. Alian D. Joseph, A-L-I-A-N D. Joseph. If anybody knows that person, tell him that the police have his property. And the number to call Inspector Morgan is 518-3757, or the Community Relations Bureau at 456-3713 or 456-3714. And the number here is 456-0931. Give me a ring-a-ling on the ting-a-ling. It's your topic today. WhatsApp, if you want to send me a message, 485-0931. Good morning again to the police officers, working hard every day for all of us. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Mr. Nobot.
Morning, sir.
And good morning to our listeners. Mr. Nobot, I'm trying to understand why is it whenever the Labour Party do something, the supporters always looking for a way to justify it.
Right they right, wrong they right.
Wrong they right they right. What I'm saying is that, Mr. Nobot, look where we are there, Sky FM. If something happened to you right there, Sky FM, or let's say I'm Northwest right there, you can say, okay, let me go to that man and confront him as to whatever it is. Now, the problem I have is that Mr. Joachim Henry is supposed to be an Adventist, a Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah.
You know what the law says, you know what your faith, your belief says. You left your home, Kareli, where they say you live in, I don't know. You left there. You drove all the way.
With your wife?
Excuse me?
With his wife.
With your wife. Now, it's always been said that behind every great man is a woman. You've heard that before, right?
Oh, yeah.
So when a man behaves that kind of way, are you not saying that he's been backed by his wife? So whether it is in a positive way or negative way, the wife is fully involved in it. Right? You showed the clip last night where he parked his vehicle and the distance you were. You mean to tell me you supposed to be a man of God, an homebody? The Holy Spirit did not tell you, Joachim, don't do that. Especially the Sabbath day, don't do it.
And the thing is that there was a lot of opportunity to change his mind, to turn back. And
exactly.
even the final point where he parked his vehicle and walked down that rocky road, where you saw the church in the distance, you say, boy, you know what? And somebody else there.
You mean you did all of that, not for 1 second, the Spirit of God. If you believe in God, I am not saying that he does not believe in God. But most time when you're going to do something, you've been convicted by the Spirit of God to tell you, hey, don't do that. Every one of us have a second thought in everything that we're going to do.
Yeah.
You understand? You did all of that. You reached in the church. And let me tell you something. People can say whatever they want. I may not be as you know, a strong believer like Mr. Guy Joseph. Everybody else, even on the video that I saw, I could have seen Guy Joseph. But the man was blind by God. God prevented him from seeing Guy Joseph. And that's what happened in the church. Miracles do happen. And you're telling me at the end of the day, your attitude, right? You did all of that. And yet still you're seeking for high office in the land. You want to be a member of cabinet. You want to be a minister in government. And not for once your mind tell you, no, I am not going to do that on the Sabbath day. On the Sabbath day. I am not putting all Adventists in the same bracket. But I am telling you, see, that day, Joachim Henry and his wife, they were possessed by demons to allow them to go and disturb the church service. When you left there, I understood that you went all the way up Grand Riviere by Jugbois. You passed how many churches? You passed by your headquarters or whatever, church in town. You never went to any of the elders. That man is just going to church, but he's not a Seventh-day Adventist. So I'm not putting blame on any Seventh-day Adventist. Joachim Henry was possessed by devils to cause him to do that thing. And that is all what I have to say for now, until my show later. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real. 456 0931. We have our next caller. Good morning, you're on the air.
Mr. Williams, morning.
Morning.
Morning, Mr. Williams.
Morning, sir.
Okay, adding to what the caller just said there. Mr. Williams, and even his leader, Mr. Joachim's leader, coming out to justify or to try and sugarcoat and pretend that it was not what happened. Because if you're coming out to apologize and you're saying if, there is no if. That is
either you apologize or you're not. There's no if.
It do happen. And I believe something I will say, Mr. William. You might not agree with me. You see, all the people that posting all kind of nonsense on social media, like you need to put a bomb under Mr. Guy Joseph and Prime Minister Alan Shastri in the house, and to blow them up.
Pattern of behavior.
Yes, and you have to. They're sorry that guy is still alive. You check what I mean? And instead of these people posting them kind of stupid things and have their leader going on social media and making all them blunders and talking so much rubbish, why they do research and help him out if you all want him to be good? Because a man go and lie and say, you know something, President Bush's son died, and that never happened.
No, not Bush, not Bush. Biden, caller, hold on a second.
Yes.
He said President Trump's.
Yeah, he said President Trump. Yes, my apologies.
Yeah.
What is Mr. Pierre listening to? I don't know what Mr. Pierre is listening to. And how can Mr. Pierre represent St. Lucia? Because if you cannot get it right at the campaign stages, you campaigning and you cannot get nothing right. Everything that you say has to be checked and see whether what you're saying is correct or something. I do not know what is happening to Mr. Pierre. But I believe Mr. Pierre is out to fail. And he is doing a very good job at failing, which I believe we will welcome because, yeah, we will welcome his failure because that gives us another boost again. I know for a fact that, you see, after what they planned, he said it in his interview with Mr. Paul, after what they planned, and he pretend that he wants to ask for forgiveness for, I don't believe that the people of the Seventh-day Adventist Church will support him, and I don't believe Christians on the whole will support these people because they don't believe in God. They don't believe in prayers, and if you are truly a Christian, a born-again believer, you will not support somebody who don't believe in God and somebody who hates Christianity, because had Mr. Joachim Henry loved Christianity and the Adventist Church, he would have never, like the previous caller said, he would have had a change of heart, because you cannot drive for that amount of time, Mr. William, and do not have a change of heart, or the Holy Spirit cannot convict you and tell you what you are going to do and what you all plan, and you have to execute. Don't do it. Don't do it because it is not right, it is not good. I think, well, the writing is on the wall, and every St. Lucian are there to see what is happening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it real. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Robert. Great show last night. Show was very nice.
Thank you.
But what I call to say, no, but that clip you showed with the leader of the opposition on Straight Up or whatever show it was, HTS. That's so sad to see the man open his mouth. You want to be a leader. And I think nearly everything that came out of that man's mouth was a lie. I go in with the first one, where he said about Donald Trump. You mean to tell me, a man that want to be a leader, no, but you opening your mouth, everybody hearing you. Opening your mouth internationally, locally, and saying Donald J. Trump had a son that died and Joe Biden suspended his campaign. Anybody you ask a toddler, a preschooler who has been following Donald Trump will know Donald Trump never had a son that passed away. Huh? Right away you seen that person have a problem. That person mind is not there. You come in on, oh my God. I was so ashamed when I heard that yesterday. And what had killed me, all the hosts and them that bashing the Prime Minister. Look, Shastne, Shastne. The host in front of him and he there drinking it like he's a coke. You cannot tell the man, well, sir, that information you're giving out there, it's incorrect. Not one person that call and tell the man, well, what he said there is wrong. That man looking like a big fool on the station. So that's the kind of people we're going to go in a polling booth and elect to say they're representing us. All international people watching you saying Donald Trump had a son. That was disgusting, Norbert. Disgusting. And everything the man saying, he talking like he's pity. He looking for sympathy. Oh Lord, the man doesn't have the strength of leadership. That just need to flush. That's not making any sense. And I see in the host, I looking at, I don't know if you want me to say his name. I know he doesn't say the name. But I will stick to the host. You're so educated. You're so crossing your T's and dotting your I's, and you have that man there in front of you, and the man I watching the host drinking what the man saying, and the questions.
You know, that's the thing. That's the thing that really gets me sometimes, is that too often that the people who should be the source of reason or the source of getting the information out or setting the record straight don't do their homework or don't know what's going on, and they're just merely observers, spectators to what is being said. And sadly, you get situations like this.
And when you finish, they best now listening to them, and they will go back and spread it and say, hey, you know what the Prime Minister in waiting said? That if Joe Biden could have postponed his campaign for Donald Trump, oh my God.
So using an example which actually does not exist, that Guy Joseph should be following. That's in essence what they're saying. What he's saying. That's what Guy Joseph should have done. He should have suspended his campaign because his opponent's son died.
And what you saying Guy Joseph should have done, because he should have followed what Joe Biden did. That never happened.
But caller, what everybody is saying is that, yes, his son did die, our local candidate here, but people continue to report that he is still on the ground, that he never suspended his campaign.
Exactly.
So,
yesterday I heard that.
So what are they calling for Guy to suspend his campaign when the person himself in question? Exactly.
Another thing, when I watched that first interview from Jugwa to NBC, the early interview, even the host, when you listen to that interview, I heard it on Tim's show. And the big mouth host self was, that catching by surprise. He waiting to hear the story that is given. He said that's all. And, you know, a big mouthful like that for him to talk and blow. He's listening to the man, and it's like he's so surprised there's no merit in what the gentleman was saying. Huh? Like they caught the announcer, the NBC announcer, if it pans down, because he was waiting for a big, like a rumble, you know, a big blast, a volcano blast, and nothing came out of that. I don't know who these people think they fool in. Who they fooling? They fooling themselves now, but you know, and St. Lucia is tired of that Roro. You see that going on there, Roro, Pala, SLP, Kamal, teach everything that comes out in these people's mouth. We need to question it. Everything that comes out of these people's mouth, we need to question it. Another thing, I was going through Facebook last night, and I'm seeing some people saying that nobody's talking about the tourism industry, the hotel workers. For things and measures the government put in place.
Caller, what's making that noise there?
Oh, you getting it?
It's in my head.
Sorry about that. It's irritating. Hold on, I'm getting away from it. Yeah. And the people saying that none of the talk shows are talking about the tourism, the hotel workers. But I'm saying for stress, there's stress on that already. For stress, the government stress on that already. We're still looking for. It's patient. What we have to do is to abide with the protocols. If who wants to take the vaccine, go and get the vaccine.
Yeah.
Stay in line, fall in line so that we can eliminate the numbers of the COVID, so that the cruise ship can start coming in and the tourists. I mean, simple. All that is in the pipeline. We're still looking. I don't know if it's money they want the government to give them. I don't know. So if you all want to touch base on that, feel free to do that. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real. Okay, folks, I want you to listen now, because I have it. I have it here. The interview in studio yesterday with the leader of the opposition, Philip J. Pierre, and leader of the SLP, Philip J. Pierre, as he spoke about, he has the evidence of what was said. But let's hear his choice of words and the two occasions where it came up, and how, on one hand, he's offering to play it, and on the other hand, he's saying, "What? I can't play it, it's not good for air. Make up your mind." But you see again the usual fluff and bluff. So we're going to get to that now. We're going to get that right here. So stand by, folks. There we go.
Joachim Henry and his...
Hold on.
Family.
So where were these attacks made? Is that
public? You want me to start playing one for you?
That's okay.
No, because you know, when you tell people these things, they just, and the United Workers Party and their surrogates, they're so consumed in making political mileage and so consumed in winning at all costs. They have absolutely what the young people call no chill. You understand?
Because so, Mr. Pierre, up to now we don't quite know what is it that...
Exactly. And I will not say on radio what he said.
You hear that, folks? He just asked Andre, "You want me to play it for you? I have it on my phone. You want me to play it for you?" And then when Andre says, "We don't know what was said," he said, "Oh, I can't play it on radio."
Because it's too low. It's too degrading. It's too unbecoming of a government minister. I must tell you.
Say it's too low. It's too degrading. He can't. He just a few seconds before said, "Have it. I can play it." But then when Andre asked him to tell him what it is, he can't say it on radio. You just offered to play it. Now you have the opportunity to put it out. You can't say it on radio. Baila? Oh my gosh, man. My gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Nobby. But here's the interesting part of it all. Listen to the apology Listen to the apology.
You understand? I will not tell you Jogger Henry should have gone to the...
You will not tell him he should have gone, but...
The church.
Listen.
But that's a man and his wife who is in anguish.
He will not tell you they should go, but they're in anguish. So that's the excuse.
In your same church. And by the way, Angie, I want to apologize
here we go.
On behalf of the party,
listen,
to the Seventh-day Adventists in the country,
listen,
and to the leadership of the Seventh-day Adventist religion, if in any way what we did, what happened,
what we
brought
did,
the
what
church
happened
into any issues.
You hear that, folks? Listen to this again.
In your same church, and by the way, Angie, I want to apologize on behalf of the party, to the Seventh-day Adventists in the country,
listen,
and to the leadership of the Seventh-day Adventist religion, if in any way what we did, what happened, brought the church into any issues.
I want to apologize if in any way. Brother man, when you apologize, you're acknowledging that you did something wrong, that something wrong was done, that there was a transgression. You're not saying if. You have to recognize, own it, take ownership. You have no sense of judgment as the leader. You have no understanding as a man, as a human being, as a lawmaker, because you were at some point. Right is right, wrong is wrong. If you run a red light, you're wrong. You get a ticket. It's not about, well, I apologize, officer, if you say I'm wrong. Say, pa, if wrong is wrong. I want you to listen to that again, folks. I want you to listen to that again.
In your same church. And by the way, Angie, I want to apologize on behalf of the party, to the Seventh-day Adventists in the country, and to the leadership of the Seventh-day Adventist religion, if in any way what we did, what happened, brought the church into any issues.
You hear that, folks? If. So if the Seventh-day Adventists say nothing wrong happened, then nothing wrong happened. So if a man beat you up, or if your boyfriend beat you up, and the police come and ask and you say, well, no, nothing happened, then nothing happened. I leave it for you folks. I ain't saying nothing on that. 456-0931. The phone is back on. 456-0931. You ever hear an apology like that? I want to apologize to the 7 days. If. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Hi, morning, Norbert.
Morning, sir.
Great show as usual last night.
Thank you very much.
However, it was very agonizing for me because I honestly did not want to subject myself to Mr. Pierre's statements and comments. And that's why I deliberately did not listen to his show, to his comments on the show yesterday afternoon. Because I you know, it's amazing that people who want to aspire to can bring themselves down to such level. You have an interview, I think, I don't know how long it was.
Caller, the dogs are competing with you for the attention of right there.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get away from them. And every throughout the interview, almost everything that was said was not real. And probably the Prime Minister in waiting has lived so long in St. Lucia that he lost reality with what's happening on the outside world. Because you would expect that a leader, someone who is going to want to be Prime Minister, has to be in tune or know of the keeping in touch with everything that's happening on the international scene, because as a leader of a country, you're supposed to interact with what's happening in the world. You should have full knowledge of everything that goes, or most things that goes on in both. And it is surprising that when you make a statement like that, the former president's son died, and a campaign had to be suspended because of, you know, it is very amazing that Mr. Pierre really didn't know that Mr. Bush, not Mr. Bush, Mr. Trump's son really never didn't have a son that died. All Mr. Trump's sons are alive. Most of they took part in his campaign, and they continue up to now to support their father. And so that alone tells you that, I don't know, is either trying to make a situation, make people believe in a situation that did not exist, be real. And you said that
he wants to impose it on Guy Joseph. That's what happened. So he's creating an example.
He said, you say that he listens to Keeping It Real. Well, I don't know how, if he's, in listening, he actually understands what Keeping It Real really means. The other issue is the issue of which I want to raise, that the Labour Party continues to believe or behave in a manner that they think they are above the law. And it is frightening, because if you are in opposition and you behave in such a manner, what happens if you gain the reins of power and the seat of government in the country? That means you feel that you can do anything and you are not subject to be questioned or to be brought to account for the things that you've done. I cannot see a reasonable, sensible party who wants to, on the eve of an election, and subject its people to what happened on Sunday. And I'm referring to the motorcade. That means that's a violation of the protocols that were put in place. The health of the people, the very people who you say you want to put first, you're putting them first. You're jeopardizing them. You're putting their health and their life at risk. You're breaking the law of the land, and you are a part. You are members of who want to become ministers, who want to become leaders of this country. And this is the kind of action that is. But the worst thing is that they always justify the wrongs that they do. They always find a way to justify the wrongs that they do. And it is frightening. That's why I say it's frightening, because if that is the attitude that you have when you're in opposition, when you get into power, you probably believe that you have the authority, you have the power now, so you can do anything that you want, regardless of the effect it's going to have on the people and the country. So I really, I was really appalled with some of the statements that Mr. Pierre made yesterday on this. Because there is, most of it, there is no truth, really any truth to it. And it is showing that, I don't know if he knows, but if he knows, it means that he is taking the citizenry of the country for granted, that I can say anything and they'll believe me. I don't know if this is what he is thinking. But there are people who analyze things that people say. And when you analyze these things, then I think you can take a better, a more informed decision as to what steps to take when these people come. I keep on saying that I don't think that the Labour Party is to govern. I think they should probably wait out this.
They're not ready this
millennium.
time. They're not ready.
They're not ready for. And the actions continue
to support
show that this is the. So I am hoping that people really take note of these things and don't just go and elect a government or perhaps because you support them or because you like a particular person that I think it is wrong. It's time for us to continue what this government has started, and that is rebuilding a new century. Thank you, Norbert.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real. Now, somebody just sent me a message here. And they're saying, do you know how many people have lied and made up stories about me and talked about me, and I don't confront them? I note it and continue. I talk to most, if not all of them, and they don't even know that I know. What's the whole big deal? What's the whole self-satisfaction thing of confronting somebody because they say so? I mean, it all boils down to that, folks. Somebody say something about you. Umelexa? I mean, come on, man. This is so childish. I mean, how many times have we heard about just ignoring the nonsense? Tell ma bagay yo hadi about mwe, botai. Ba di hadi bay about mwe, yo hadi bagay about mwe, yo hadi sa, yo hadi si, yo hadi tout kalte bagay about mwe. Ou kwe mwe mele yep sa? Di sa ou vle di, ma mele. You know, it's what you let bother you. You know, there's this thing that, there's this saying that goes around, and you see it so much on social media, that lions don't concern themselves with the opinions of sheep. You know, it's so ridiculous how some people become so discombobulated about things people say. It's up to you. You are the one who lets things people say bother you, you know. And especially if you want to get into politics, people are going to say a lot of things about you. They're going to say a lot of things that are untrue too. The regular man in the street, people say things about them. You think you're going to be some special exception? And the thing is that what is even more bizarre, according to a friend of mine from the Seychelles, what is even more bizarre is that when you listen to what was allegedly said, how ridiculous it is that you would be so discombobulated by such mundane statements, that you would let something so ridiculous bother you. You told people, I'm your friend. That is something to get somebody so bent out of shape. That you are devil, that you wicked, because you WhatsApp somebody a message offering condolences. This is so freaky. I mean, this is so contrived. It's so blown out of proportion to justify the ridiculous reaction. The reaction was ridiculous, folks. I will say that. In my analysis of the paralysis, there is absolutely no measure of reasonableness. There is no measure of any acceptability, any at all, for the reaction to words. It's just unbelievable. But I want to play for you again Philip J. Pierre yesterday and his apology. Listen to this. And he says we. I don't know, was that a Freudian slip? You know, then he corrects himself. He just bumbles everything, you know, when he talks. He just keeps bumbling. It's just like, can he have a straight thought? Can he get himself together? It just makes you want to, you listen to him and he just makes you want to pull out your hair. And the SLP is saying that too. It's not me alone. Don't pretend. No need to circle the wagons. You know it's true. It just leaves you all kerfuffled. Hey, see, phone is going off, folks. Messages. What is going on? You hear that? Messages, hundreds. What's going on? Can't read all of that. Folks, I don't know. It's a vapor moon, man. My gosh. Let's listen to Philip J. Pierre with his apology. Listen to it. Like to apologize. If you ever hear anybody a conditional apology where you don't want to accept responsibility, where you don't want to say straight, you know what, I was wrong. You want to put some condition of if you think you know, they tell you, apologize for what you said. Well, if you think what I said was, c'est pas if. An apology is an acknowledgement that you wronged someone, that something wrong was done. Accept that. It's not whether the person want to, if. If you go to somebody's house and you steal their $20, let me just break it down real simple. You steal the $20. You know it was wrong. When they catch you, they tell you, I want you to apologize for stealing the $20. Well, if the mister think it was wrong, then I apologize. You know? You know what, folks? I mean, that is the double talk. That is the viciousness. You know? That's the malmene sevel tactics that you keep hearing from these guys all the time. When they do it, it's all right. When somebody else do it, hell and damnation. It's okay. And that's the mantra. Win we win, lose we win. So remember, never an acceptance. Always twisting and turning like a eel. The mal tu ne u le la ba koyo. Can't get them, and you know. All how it's always a slippery situation. Let me let you hear what Philip J. Pierre's apology. I got to get out of here. What his apology is again.
Church.
Hold on.
And by the way, Angie, I want to apologize on behalf of the party to the Seventh-day Adventists in the country and to the leadership of the Seventh-day Adventist religion if in any way what we did, what happened, brought their church into any issues. I want to apologize publicly on behalf of the Henry family and Joaquin Henry in particular.
So you're saying you didn't support his actions?
I don't think that was the right thing at the time, but I can understand his anguish and his...
But his actions and his anguish are two totally different things. You can have all your anguish, nobody's saying no, but it's the actions that Andre Paul is asking about. That's what he's asking about. The actions. I can understand his actions, but I can understand his anguish, but his actions. It's two separate things, but he's trying to muddy it.
Pain, and I know the church is forgiven, is a forgiving church.
His actions.
I don't think that was the right thing at the time, but I can understand his anguish and his pain, and I know the church is forgiven.
The church is forgiving. Well, you're not speaking for the church. When you apologize, whether the church forgives or not, it's your acknowledgement that what was done was wrong. That is what an apology is. But you see all the malmene of the Seville and the spinning around and the twisting of things. Admit it, dang nammit, and get over it. It's this constant cover-up. It's this constant condoning, the tacit endorsement. And the message, what you have to understand, Philip J. Pierre, is the message that you're sending out there. That you can BS your way out of anything. Sell ice to Eskimos. That's what you're trying to do there. Sell ice to Eskimos. Dang namit. All house tune is just like that other guy in the other constituency there. Tutman ye a question. Wait, put it this way, Tim. Put it this way. Can never answer a question straight. Never. Always have to twist and tune and cavote and tune and woule là-bas. Gosh, man. Gosh.
Is a forgiving church, ask them to forgive him if he made any transgressions. But
you hear that again? If he made any transgressions. Philip J. Pierre, one time Deputy Prime Minister, he did commit transgressions, dang nammit, criminal transgressions, Section 566 and Section 567 of the laws of St. Lucia. That should be the first thing that you all would have checked, whether there was any criminal liability. Dang nammit, man. Gosh, man. Tout manière pour rouler là-bas. Whether the church wants to accept the apology or believes that, you know, a crime can be committed and you don't even believe or know that a crime was committed? There's the law of the land, Philip J. Pierre, the law of the land. And whether the SDA church or the pastor or the elder is aware, a criminal offense occurred, was perpetrated. And regardless of whether he was mourning or not, the fact is that under the laws of St. Lucia, Joachim Henry committed a criminal offense. But you know, folks, what is it about criminal offenses or having a criminal conviction and being able to run for public office? Could that be the bigger concern of the SLP? I want to play it for you one more time. Hold on a second there. Hold on a second there. Here we go. It's coming up in just a second. Here we go.
In your same church, and by the way, Angie, I want to apologize on behalf of the party to the Seventh-day Adventists in the country and to the leadership of the Seventh-day Adventist religion if in any way what we did, what happened brought the church into any issues. I want to apologize publicly on behalf of the Henry family and Joachim Henry in particular.
So you're saying you didn't support his actions?
Philip J. Pierre cannot apologize on behalf of the Henry family. The Henry family is not represented by the leader of the opposition or the St. Lucia Labour Party. This is something that has to come from a spokesperson for the Henry family. I think it gives more weight, it gives more sincerity, it gives more conscience and more acceptance. Philip J. Pierre wanting to speak for the Henry family makes it more political. And the fact is that with all the nonsense that's being spoken out there, Joachim Henry, when he went to the church, was not representing the St. Lucia Labour Party. Although he's a member, although he's an endorsed candidate, he was not representing them at the time. He went there in his personal capacity because of a personal grievance. And what happened there, what compounded the situation, was the SLP closing ranks in anticipating that this would have been bad PR for them. And what they did, instead of accepting that something wrong was done and dealing with it right away, they chose to circle the wagons and to make excuses and to quote scriptures and all kind of things. And it has blown up in their face. They have egg on their face. They have cement on their face. And it has become the PR disaster, the PR nightmare that it has for them, because they have backed themselves, they have painted themselves into a corner. That now anything they say different to the stance that they have taken is going to make them look stupid. That's their problem. That's their problem. I think I'll take two more calls. 4560931. 4560931. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Hi, good morning, Norbert.
Morning, sir.
I'm happy that I am one of the two. But let me give you a little background. Deafness runs in my family, the paternal side of my family. And I made a conscious decision a couple of years ago that I will choose who and what I listen to. Just for the possibility, maybe one day I might be deaf in my older age. And yesterday I made a conscious decision to listen to Mr. Pierre on Andre.
Right.
And I was more disappointed in Andre than I was with Mr. Pierre. I think he treated him with kid gloves. I think that was more of a party political broadcast. He let him rant on for very long. And some of the things that he spoke about, for example, Mr. Pierce said that he wants to call the HRDC, the Human Resource Development Center, in his constituency. He wants to rename it the Romanus Lancico HRDC, if he wins the next election. He also said regarding the abandoned buildings in Masha that he would like to change the laws of the country to address those abandoned buildings. He also said that if he was a prime minister, he would distance himself from the statement made by Ms. Fortuna Belrose. Now, if I was in Andrew's place, I would have asked him, first of all, well, why didn't you rename the HRDC or address the abandoned buildings for the 25 years that you've been in Parliament?
That's right.
That is the first question. And regarding Fortuna Belrose, I would have asked him, if there's any statement made by any members of your party that you would like to distance yourself from. He didn't answer.
But you know what, caller? Just to interrupt you, I have a message here, and we've heard it many times. I've heard it myself. That this very same host has said that he doesn't watch TV, he don't watch the news, he don't watch nothing. So how is he going to be informed about the issues in order to ask the pertinent questions? That, I mean, in itself, making a statement like that is a self-indictment that you, every time that I've heard it, that people have challenged him on air, he's my friend, but it has always befuddled me, it has always freaked me out that someone who is so very adamant about his point of view is admitting that he does not give himself the opportunity to get the information.
Exactly. I mean, even in the case of the what's contemporary now, the incident in Forestier, Andrew, I think, in my opinion, should have been more specific and ask him to condemn the actions of Mr. Henry. Let us see whether he would have condemned it. You know, I think I was disappointed in Andrew yesterday the way he carried out that interview. And no, but you just said a while ago something. You were assuming that Joachim Henry wasn't acting on behalf of the SLP when you said that the party cannot apologize on his behalf.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, boy. Anyway.
Many people think otherwise.
Last week, I think Mr. Peter Josie called your show with Minerva. He said that he would not be calling again. I implore him to call because I would really like to hear his views on that incident. I know he has a show coming up later.
Yes,
but some of us are not always available to hear that program. But Mr. Josie, if you're listening, I would really want to hear your take on this incident, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it real. And just a reminder, coming up at 9 o'clock this morning, Champagne in the morning. And at 10 o'clock, Sir Michael Shasney with former parliamentarian Peter Josie. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Hello, morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Norbert. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you?
Okay, not too bad.
Yes.
Good to hear you. I listened to you yesterday.
Great.
Foiler, good morning. Long Robinson Foiler. Mrs. Williams, good morning. I listened to you last night and I wanted to call.
Oh.
You spoke about, I saw you showed Sir John. Sir John will be 96 if he were alive.
He would have been.
He would be 96 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, hooray. So, wherever you are, Sir John, may God have mercy upon your soul. I want to, and Janine is still alive. Let us do something for Janine Compton Antoine. Let us do something for her, if you understand what I'm saying. During the course of the day yesterday, Mr. Norbert, I am a member of the mentally challenged, and I was very sad to hear people speak about mental illness in terms of being as if they are professional. We must be very careful. Mental illness is no respect of person. No respect of person. And when we're going to say that Joachim, he mentally this and he has
Well, let's hold on a second, caller. Hold
Yes.
on. I I understand where you're going with that, but I'll let you complete your thought in a second. But we have to keep it real. And in the world that we live in, and I don't think that anybody is acting as a mental expert, because we all, regardless of our level of expertise, examine and have opinions about what happens around us. We are also exposed to a lot of information. And it is a fact that when people go through trying times, the loss of a loved one, grief, whatever you want to call it and relate it to, that they go through phases. This is well established. You don't have to be a professional to know that there are 5 stages of grief. That's established. You don't have to be a medical professional. Philip J. Pierre is not a professional himself, and he alluded to that. In fact, he mentioned it specifically yesterday on his show with Andre Paul. The 5 stages of grief. The fact is that clearly there was some deep, the word mental is not a bad thing. There was some deep psychological...
What you say, Norbert, is how you say it. And I'm a member of the mentally challenged and what was being said.
You don't sound mentally challenged to me.
Huh?
You don't sound mentally challenged to me.
I'm not mentally I said I'm a member.
Of the mentally challenged?
Of the mentally challenged, yes. Of the mentally, of the mental home.
You're in an organization?
Yes.
Okay.
We call ourselves mentally challenged.
Okay.
Organization.
Okay.
I'm a member. So I was not happy with what was said. There was one caller who said he's not going to speak about that at all. After the death, he's going to speak. And he gave his views on another station and said so many things. He has to go to the men. Let us be careful. Mentally illness is no respect of person. Let us be careful what we say and I do. And I want to say that yes, Mr. Trump, it was not his son, but Robert, which is his brother, passed away. And that happened. Robert passed away, which is Trump's brother.
Well, that's not... Well, caller, hold on a second.
No.
Hold on a second, caller. You see, the point is that the statement Philip J. Pierre made was wrong. It was incorrect.
What was incorrect?
What he said.
What did he say?
That Joe Biden suspended his campaign for 2 days because Donald Trump's son died.
It was not his son.
Caller, I don't care about what was... Caller, hold on. Caller, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
It was his brother.
Caller.
I'm listening.
Caller, I don't care about that.
No, you need to care.
What, caller, hold on a second. Caller, hold on a second.
Yes.
The point, caller.
Yes.
I'm exercising the patience with you more than usual.
That's okay. If you flush me, I'm happy about that. That's okay. I'm listening.
The point is, what the matter of contention or discussion with everybody is that the statement that Philip J. Pierre made was categorically incorrect. End of story.
No, but I'm saying again.
Caller, I don't care about that. He was incorrect.
No, but I'm saying again, a mistake was made. It was not his son. It was
Caller, it was incorrect.
And we all make mistakes.
Caller,
I can tell you many mistakes that we have made.
Caller,
yes.
It was incorrect. It was categorically incorrect.
It was not his son. It was
you want to make that a difference. It wasn't a subtle difference. Philip J. Pierre did not make a mistake with one instance. He went forward and said that Joe Biden suspended his campaign because Donald Trump's son died. That's very specific. And what you're saying is not close to what actually the situation is. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Morning, Mr. Norbert.
Good morning. You're the last call for today.
Yes, Mr. Norbert. Mr. Norbert, it was time for you to flush that woman. That woman always calling and stop.
You know, sometimes you don't want to waste too much water, so you just have to just throw it away. You use the
always calling the station and stop crap. It was time for you to flush that woman, and when you heard that woman's voice, not to take his call, not to take her call. Just flush her, because it's not nothing good he's saying on that station. nonsense she talking about. When you see I hear that woman's voice on that face, I'm getting mad. Fortunately, Mr. Norbert, I'm getting mad.
I'm just cool and easy.
Nothing good she calling.
I'm just cool and easy this morning. That's all. I'm just cool and easy.
Okay, Mr. Norbert.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you so much for calling in. And that was it, folks. I think that's that. I have to do justice to the people who sent messages because we've given them the number. About that motorcade, and the folks who are hugging, expect more COVID. I guess expect a spike. Okay, let's go through. Let's get, wow. I got to do justice to these people because they're part of the show as well. Good morning, Mr. Williams. Is it possible that you can play the video of this Saturday scenario? Well, no, I can't. Next one. What Joachim Henry did just shows they will do anything to get in power. They are wage, not a damn seat for them. Next one. Good morning, Mr. Norbert. I think the SLP leader should apologize to the SDA churches all over the world because this is a reproach to the denomination. We are there to win souls for Christ, not the other way around. Next one. When will there be a rebroadcast of the session with our Southeast candidate and his wife with Champagne? Do you know? I will look into that today and you all will be informed. Champagne will let you know. We'll talk with, I think it needs to be rebroadcast. We'll have a talk with GVD TV about that. Well, I agree with your caller. Sean has already presented himself as a lawbreaker. He plans unilaterally to release prisoners and take them home. No, caller, he didn't do that. He said, here's the other thing again, you know, if he did something wrong with the 7 Days Church, and now, or then, Sean says, if I had my own way. Utan likuma. You get the trend, folks? You have to pay attention. Sean said, with regard to the Bordelais inmates who were there for marijuana possession, that if he had his own way. But you don't have your own way, so what's the relevance of saying that? To create some expectation, to pander to people. Sean has suicide, no, inili there. But Sean knows very well it's not up to him alone. It's not up to if he had his own way. If he knows that. He was a member of parliament, he is. He was a member of government, he was in the cabinet of ministers, he connects. So why say it? To mislead people. You cannot say it for any other reason. Because it's misleading. If I had my own way. Well, I apologize to the Seventh-day SDA Church if they think Joachim Henry did it. You see it, folks? You see it? All right. And what's this here? Here's a little thought that somebody sent here. You may not be able to control every situation and its outcome, but you can control your attitude and how you deal with it. So right. Oh, okay. Good morning, Norbert. I sympathize with Joachim Henry and the passing of his son, but I will never condone what he and his wife have done. In listening to Joachim on a talk show, he said that his wife asked him not to go to the church. But if that is the case, why did she go with him and behaved even worse than Joachim and added even more fuel to the fire? Norbert, can you give me the number of parents who have lost their children suddenly? Do they go to church, school, or any other institution to confront someone they have a beef with? Joachim Henry and his wife have set the wrong precedents. Mr. Williams, Mr. Kenny Anthony said in the House that Mr. Chasney is a weak leader for not firing Miss Belrose for her remarks. So I was expecting Philip J. Pierre to fire his colleague, Joachim Henry. So I am wondering who Kenny Anthony is considering weak now. Very, very interesting statement, caller. Very interesting. Next message. Good morning, Mr. Norbert. Why some Lucians blaming Mr. Guy and not Mr. Henry? just shaking my head. Some Lucians have to learn to stop being biased just because they don't like certain people. Prayers for St. Lucia. Our country needs one full day of prayer. Next one. I am very sure, I don't want someone who can't get such facts right leading my country. Donald Trump's son died? Biden stopped the campaign? Couldn't the host correct him? I would expect him to know such information. My goodness, according to the caller, what is he listening to? Good morning, Mr. Williams. I'm pretty sure if it was Guy Joseph that did what Joachim Henry did on Saturday, it would be a different song. The SLP and the hacks would be singing. The SLP and their supporters should be ashamed of themselves. Next one. Good morning. Good day, Mr. Williams. Pip got it wrong again. Campaigning was suspended by Biden when Trump was hospitalized with COVID. Exactly. Tell Nenen that. She just wouldn't listen. Good morning, Norbert, when Trump was hospitalized. Good morning, Norbert. Great show with COVID. Great show, keeping it real. The question is the gun. Where was the gun taken from Mr. Henry? I have a lot of questions about that gun, folks. A lot of questions. Somebody sent a message there. PC265 Williams, that was my number. Somebody knows me out there. I hope that the police do a thorough investigation regarding the firearm. Though it was not used in the commission of the crime at the church, but everything considered, Mr. Pierre and others knew something or know something that we don't. Exactly what I've been saying, folks. Exactly. What are they concerned about? Bigger question. Good morning, Mr. Williams. After viewing the videos and listening to the Honorable Minister, I find it difficult to have any sympathy for the family. Sir, that was a pre-planned, premeditated, but poorly executed plan. It was nothing more than an attempt to gain sympathy votes. As the SLP's leaders' nonsensical outpouring seeking to justify what is a criminal act, which can be started from breach of the peace right up to assault and battery and sacrilege. Battery. I expect police actions to follow post haste. Next one. Good morning, Norbert. In addition to the apology being conditional with the use of the word if, do you also realize that the apology was made by the way? Yeah, by the way. That's right. By the way. He did not say if Mr. Henry did. He said, if we did, who's the we? A lot of people have asked that question. You got to listen. Folks, you got to listen to the words. I keep stressing that, hey, you have to listen. English is a very specific language. And you have to listen to the words. What, next one, what we did? Another one again, you see? What we did, and that's in reference to what Philip JPS said. Norbert, what happened in the SDA church last Saturday was well planned in St. Lucia to happen in Forest. Yeah, that's a good one, caller. That's a good one. In fact, since you bring that up, let us listen to what Ernest Hilaire said in Dominica. Okay? Let's hear what he said in Dominica, since you're talking about what was planned. Let me see. What we did, let's read that again. Norbert, what happened in the SDA church last Saturday was well planned in St. Lucia to happen in Forestier. So let's hear what this person is alluding to.
Be careful of the United Workers' Party. Very careful of them. Do not fall for their tricks. And I'll tell you something. You see all what's happening in Dominica? That's well planned. And it was planned in St. Lucia. It was planned in St. Lucia to happen in Dominica. And I'll tell you more. For what they're doing to Dominica, we have a responsibility in St. Lucia to make sure we vote them out at the next election.
I take that to mean, folks, in no uncertain terms, that Ernest Hillay is saying that it is the UWP because you can only vote them out if they're in government. For what they're doing in Dominica, we must vote them out in St. Lucia at the next elections. What has Philip J. Pierre to say about that? He was on Andre making a statement about that incident on Saturday, 3 days later, 2 days later. What does Philip J. Pierre, and where's the press? Where are they to ask questions about that? What does Philip J. Pierre have to say about that treasonous statement? A man who is sworn to protect St. Lucia at all costs. And these people want to get back in government, my gosh. Next one. Good morning, Norbert. I want to say I watched the video of the church. I must say this was horrible, horrible. Not in a house of worship. What is St. Lucia becoming? What is St. Lucia coming into? All because an opposition wants to be in power. Mr. Henry has shown disrespect to himself, to his families, and the people that he is supposed to be representing. Furthermore, he has disrespected the entire country, home and abroad. I believe he needs to step out of politics if he has such thin skin. We all know if you will be going into politics, then be ready for anything thrown at you. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the reality and nature of politics. Really and truly, if this family is grieving over their son, they should be with the Lord in prayer. How on earth would they be worrying about what is said about him? This is ridiculous. Lord have mercy on our sweet St. Lucia. Take control of St. Lucia. Next one. Nenen, leave our show alone. Next one. When a political party has to resort to and rely on hate, promoting intimidation, violent rhetoric, and racial slurs to appeal to and attract voters, it is a clear sign of weakness and desperation. Such ugliness as we have been experiencing cannot be an acceptable strategy to replace the current government, and most worrying is the lack of a clear and unambiguous rejection by the SLP hierarchy. In fact, even worse are the blatant pronouncements by Dr. Anthony and Ernest Hillay and the smart and subtle remarks of Philip Pierre. There can be no place for such divisive tactics meant only to secure power at any cost. Philip Pierre was ill-informed or did not know, but again, it is the bob and weave of the SLP, as you said. Next one. Keeping it real, keeping it yellow. Next one. Good morning, Norbert. Okay, Cynthia and Simon are listening, and a special good morning to Matt Checker and Mr. Redman. Sky FM, #1 radio station in St. Lucia, where you get the truth and nothing but the truth. And the so-called educated, intelligent, what makes me mad talk show host calling our Sky FM radio esteemed men Mumu journalists. I didn't hear that one. Let me hear that. Let me call Andrea. Andre, let me call you up. Don't make me call you up, Andre. You know, there can always be some nice rivalry. You see, again, some people always want to take things personal and get vexed and go on a tirade and all kind of things. They say so many things. You see, last week the fella give me the finger. He write things and he say, well, I just laugh at these things. You think I will ever do that? See anybody there, whether it's those, jokers on another station or anywhere else that have said so many ridiculous things about me that I even pay any attention to. In November, year before, said absolute nonsense. You think I'm going to worry about that? Saying all kinds of foolishness. But you see, people know who you are. And when I say you, I'm talking generally, second person plural. People know you. People know you by your works. By their fruits you shall know them. And we all know who the rapists and we all know who the crooks and whoever are. St. Lucia is a small place. It's public information. The talk is around, just who going where and doing what and all kind of things. People know by and large. So when you say things about people that are lies, that are fabricated, people know. You're going to say all kinds of crap about me. You see me getting discombobulated. I just laugh at that because it's ridiculous. Because these people, folks, you need to learn that. You need to know your value. Don't let people define you or tell you or make you feel how they want you to feel about yourself. That ain't going to work on me. And I encourage all of you to forget about the nonsense, man. Let me tell you something. Y'all could say what y'all want about me. From now till doomsday, my mother taught me much better to have my own sense of pride and value in myself. And the thing is that when you know who you are, people are not going to dictate what you feel about yourself. You think I'm going to worry about that and look out for people around the street to stick up my finger to them or to say all kinds of disparaging things about people? I deal with the facts. I deal with the issues. End of day. End of story. I don't have anything personal with anybody. You know, because if that's the case, if that's how you think that somebody is reporting on a fact, public record, then they should feel the same way about you too when you say things about them, when you report. I ain't vexed with nobody. And then people want to get mépris and tell you your child mother this and this one that and all kind of nonsense trying to embarrass you as if that's going to change reality. It ain't going to change. We know those who like to do that. Tell people, oh, I send you money and all kind of thing and all of that. You know? Despicable. Norbert, you don't have to read that on air. Well, if you don't want me to read something on air, you should say that first and not in the last line. Not my fault. You know, folks, if you send me a message, and you know the messages are read on air, you're not going to say, don't read it on air at the bottom of the message, which I'm only going to get to after I read the top. You know? Good morning, Norbert. Last night, Keeping It Real was the Oscar for the best station. And ask Mr. Pierre, when is their continent's visit to St. Jude? Contingency. Good morning, Norbert. If PJP doesn't have a written script, he makes a mess of himself. I have observed that, caller. He has to be scripted or he has to be pre-recorded. How can he represent St. Lucia when he is not in touch with what's happening in the world? Next one from the UK. Good morning, Mr. N. It makes me sound like a James Bond, you know, Mr. N. Thank you for reading our WhatsApp message, especially those of us overseas. We're listening, thank you. You're a part of it even if you don't call. You send a message and it makes sense. You know, everybody, it's all-inclusive here, you know. It's like a hotel. Claudie thinks that she can dominate all talk shows, but bet you she can't dominate ours. Flush her, Norbert. Good morning. Mr. Williams, good morning again. They have a saying that our Prime Minister cannot speak proper English, but Mr. Pierre, I think you're the one who needs to re-examine your English. How you spoke... I'm going to get into that. Mr. Williams, that was the... I'm not going to read that. Mr. Norbert, it was the famous Stanley who said it in connection with Champagne's interview with Mr. Guy Joseph. Somebody called me about that last night. They found he didn't ask good questions. The problem is because he chose to go to Sky FM. Yep. Very true, Norbert. My mother instilled the same values in me. You know what, folks? Since I'm here, I'll take one more phone call. 456-0931. 456-0931. And of course, that's the theme music. Coming to the end of the show, time sure flies. One more call, 456-0931. Make it quick, and this is it. Good morning, you're on the air. You're the final caller for today.
Hello?
Good morning, you're on the air.
Hello?
Good morning, you're on the air.
Morning.
Morning.
I want to say to Norbert, the bow tie man, Drop it. It's not going to do anything for him. There is a God. Drop it. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello?
I'm here.
Are you hearing me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
You hearing me loud and clear?
Loud and clear. What do you want me to drop?
I am saying to him, drop it. The man has a son he hasn't buried. His only son. It is so sad that a young boy like Norbert could take that and go to town with it just for political gain.
Don't call and make a fool of yourself, okay? This is a national discussion. It's been discussed everywhere. The people of St. Lucia need to know what is going on. You have a political candidate. You have a political party. You have another political candidate and a sitting minister of government. You have the death of a son. You have all of that rolled in one, and nobody should talk about it. How ridiculous, how absurd that you are to bring this up, to make that statement, to call here and think that you're going to get away with that. You know what you deserve? Here's what you deserve, and everybody, I'm certain, is calling for it. That's what you deserve. Deserve to be flushed for that ridiculous and nonsensical outburst, the last for the day, when people are expecting something of substance. The only substance that you were spewing there needs to be handled in only one way, just like this. Ridiculous. You have a great day, and think about yourself. Go sit in a corner and think about how ridiculous you made yourself sound on radio for the whole world to hear, on the record. Don't mess around. We keep it real right here. I kept it real with you. So anyway, folks, thank you so much for joining me once again for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. I'm Norbert Williams. Hope you have a lovely day. Coming up at 9 o'clock, The Man Champagne with Champagne in the Morning. And 10 o'clock, his two in-studio guests who are going to be talking about what's going on. So Michael Shastney will be joined by no other than former parliamentarian and representative for Castries East and also for Viewfort South, Mr. Peter Josie, at 10 o'clock on Champagne in the Morning. Meanwhile, Champagne in the Morning is starting up at 9 o'clock, folks. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to be with you. Tomorrow morning, 6 to 8 a.m., another morning edition of Keeping It Real. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you have a wonderful day. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, wherever you are. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, I'm Norbert Williams, right here on Sky FM 93.1. Join me Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, Minerva Ward joining me from Canada, right near the North Pole. Although it's cold over there, it's gonna be hot in here. Don't you forget, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on GVD TV and streaming live on Facebook. Don't you miss it.
Bye.
Student at the Monico Passios Combined School. I'm in grade 6 and my teacher is Miss Stanislas. My favorite subject would be math. I don't normally like it, but my teacher finds a way to make it fun. I also love the positive quote she put up all over the walls. It reminds me to keep going. Also, the new wing is very impressive. The balcony is very large. So at break time, I can eat my snack and, go for a nice little walk. I also like the size of the classroom. so I'm not sticking on anybody because, 6 feet apart. Before, it was a rocky ride coming to school when I normally take the bus. But now, the drivers don't have any complaints now that the district rep fixed it. Before, it was like a rocky, stony road, a dirt road, but now that they fixed it with some concrete and nice tools, it's a smooth ride. I may even fall asleep. Thank you, Dr. Rigobert.